The heavy front door slammed shut, shaking the quiet air of the living room. Ryan stormed in, tossing his leather bag onto the sofa with a force that echoed through the house. His face was flushed, his fists clenched tight, and his breath came in short, heavy gasps as he paced the floor. But across the room, by the window, his grandfather sat perfectly still. He didn't flinch. He simply turned a page of his book, waiting for the storm to settle. Ryan paced back and forth, his hands trembling with rage. "It's just so unfair!" he finally shouted, the words spilling out like venom. "He humiliated me in front of the whole team! He's toxic, Grandpa. He has no right to speak to me like that. I want to go back there and scream in his face. I want him to hurt like I do." The room fell silent, absorbing the heat of his anger. The grandfather slowly placed his book on the table. He didn't scold the boy. He didn't ask him to be quiet. Instead, he looked at Ryan with deep compassion, his eyes calm like a still lake. "Ryan," he asked softly, do they hurt your skin like a stone thrown at your chest?" Ryan stopped pacing. He looked at his grandfather, confused by the strange question. "No," he admitted, his voice dropping to a whisper. "But they hurt inside. It feels like poison." The grandfather nodded understandingly. He patted the cushion beside him. "Sit down," he said gently. "Let me tell you a story about a wise master who faced a storm of insults, yet never got wet. Long ago, in a bustling town, there lived a wise master known for his boundless patience and inner peace. One day, as he walked through the crowded market, a man charged out from the shadows. This man was consumed by hatred. He blocked the master's path and began to scream. He spat words of venom, calling the master a fraud, a fool, and a liar. His voice was like thunder, shaking the quiet air. He cursed the master's family and mocked his teachings. The crowd gathered around, watching in terrified silence. They whispered among themselves, waiting for the master to strike back, to defend his honor. But the master stood there, as solid and still as a mountain. The insults flew at him like flaming arrows, but they found no target. They simply fell to the ground, harmless. The man's face turned crimson. The veins on his neck bulged as he screamed louder, trying desperately to provoke a reaction. He wanted a fight. He wanted the master to get angry, to shout back, to become just like him. But the master simply watched. He looked at the furious man not with anger, but with the gentle eyes of a father watching a stumbling child. Minutes passed, and the man's voice began to crack. His throat burned, his energy drained away like water from a broken jar. Finally, panting and exhausted by his own rage, he fell silent. The fire of his anger had no wood to burn, and he stood there, defeated by the weight of his own words. The silence that followed was heavy, and in that stillness, the master finally spoke. "Tell me," the master asked, his voice calm and clear. "If you offer a gift to someone, and that person refuses to accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The angry man blinked, confused by the sudden question. He frowned and snapped, "If they don't take it, it belongs to me, obviously." The master smiled gently. "Exactly. And it is the same with your anger. You came here today offering me insults and hate, but I do not accept your gift. So tell me, who does this anger belong to now?" The man stood frozen. The realization struck him like lightning. He had no answer. He was left holding the heavy weight of his own rage, while the master remained free and light. Back in the living room, the story faded. Ryan sat quietly on the sofa, his fists finally unclenched. The tension in his shoulders began to melt away, replaced by a deep breath of relief. His grandfather leaned forward, his eyes warm. "You see, Ryan," he said softly, "people will always try to hand you their pain and their poison. But just like a package delivered to your door, you don't have to sign for it. You don't have to open it. You can simply let them keep it."
In a world filled with noise and digital arrows, it is easy to feel wounded by words that were never yours to carry. But remember, true peace is not found in silencing others. It is found in the power of your own choice. You do not have to sign for every package that arrives at your door. If the words are heavy with hate, leave them where they fell. If this story brought a little quiet to your mind today, please share this gift with someone who needs it. And stay with us for another lesson on life next week.